And now let's start the technical session, and we start with the host from Agile. Actually, Massimiliano Lucerelli couldn't make it, and so Franco Forese from DXC will do the presentation that they prepared together about OpenStack for Government Cloud, the Italian experience.
Okay, good morning. My name is Franco Forese. I'm part of the DXC technology, and I worked basically on the project for the SPC Cloud that started several years ago. So we'll be very fast because we have a lot of things to say. So just would like to summarize the DXC technology, just a company that was founded recently by merging CSC and HP enterprise services. The agenda, we talk about SPC Cloud Lot 1, and the reference context, the technology platform, and the latest new service that we introduced 2 years ago. So first one, just a few words about SPC Cloud Lot 1. It's a contract, framework contract, was signed in 2016 after a tender issued in 2014 with a budget of 500 million euros. That means this should become the cloud of the public sector in Italy. Unfortunately, it's not so easy, so we did a lot, but I think at the end of the contract we'll consume all the budget, but there are many hurdles, many difficulties that we found during the journey. The contract was signed by a temporary joint venture composed by Telecom Italia, DXC, and Poste Italiane and Postel. As DXC, we have one part of the work that we did. So the goal is to have IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS services offered to the public sector through a very simple contract model. So every public sector entities can buy cloud services in a very fast time. We introduced a new service in 2017. So this has recovered as a server, enterprise container as a service, and managed service, and so on. The contract lasts 5 years. We are just at the 3rd year, so July 2021 will end, and we will see what happened. You can find all the information on a public site. There is no link. And well, two important aspects for this. First, the location of the delivery center are in Italy. The second one is most important. The cloud is completely dedicated to the public sector. So it's like some sort of private cloud. Actually, it's a community cloud. And also, we need to be sure that we can deliver service even if the client don't pay. That's an important aspect because there is a law that makes clear that. Okay, the reference context is about the context we have in the 3 years plan from the Agile and concept and team digitale, and we see here we have the SPC Cloud, one of the 3 pillars. We have the cloud service provider, the SPC Cloud community cloud, and the policy strategy nazionale, some sort of private cloud that are under definition. And we use OpenStack. And OpenStack probably this is one of the biggest OpenStack project for the public sector. And we did a lot of experience into that. The original, originally we started with HP Helium OpenStack distribution, and we tailored it for this specific project because there were a lot of requirements into this project. Then we moved into a different approach after this, and we moved into canonical from Helium OpenStack because Helium was dismissed, there were some problems and so on. So basically today we are using canonical, still with some customization. We moved out the customization, as you can see here in the diagram. There is a black box. All the customization are moved out as a single separate application, made a single page app with some backend, just to provide some unique feature like creating custom flavors for the VMs or supporting hierarchical access to the tenants of the users and so on. So unfortunately we don't have enough time to go more in detail, but in the presentation you will find something. If you need any detail you would like to know, just ask me. We implemented recently a two-region architecture, so we will have 4 regions. 2 regions from Telecom Italia and 2 regions from DXC. Those 2 regions will implement 2 new concepts, faster recovery and always on. Fast recovery is some sort of disaster recovery for cloud. So it's easier, better, and it's tenant-based. So that means if one tenant will go down, we can restart the same tenant on the other region quickly, restoring all the services. The other always on, you know already, when you run a native cloud application, you can have the application running in parallel on both regions. In one region, the region will go down and you have still the service running. The technology platform includes some specific functionality for the region. Let's say we introduced the way that we can use legacy application and confine it into the tenants, or we can develop as cloud native. Unfortunately, we need to define at the beginning which kind of solution the client would select, because that's the only way to manage this. So if they would like to do cloud native, that's not a problem. If they want to continue to use a legacy application running in tenant, we need to know when we start the contract with the client. Then, in 2018, we introduced a new solution, Enterprise Container as a Service. This is a very innovative solution. More than containers, I would like to call it a container DevOps platform, because it's really a platform for developer. So the developer can design, develop, manage all the life cycle of the IT service and deploy on the OpenStack cloud. And this solution is fully managed. That means the client does not need to do anything, just activate the instance and start to run and start to working with that. They will find the usual tools that are part of this kind of solution. So there is a software forge based on GitLab, there is Mattermost as ChatOps, CI/CD, and so on. So there are all the tools needed to do this, fully integrated. Also, there is a central API gateway that allows us to substitute some component if needed. And lastly, we manage all these in a current manner, so that means the clients have all these tools fully configured. They just need to concentrate on developing applications. The last relevant or interesting solution that introduced recently is observability. As you know, when you develop a microservice and very complex distributed environment, you need to know what's happened. It's not easy to do, almost impossible to do with current monitoring, traditional monitoring solution. So we introduced a very nice open source platform. By the way, I didn't say that before, but everything is open source in our implementation, based on open source tool. The last one is from Influx Data, that allow you to collect all the information from the running application, correlate everything from logs, metrics, events, and so on, and make a decision to take in respect to what's happened, almost in real time. This will be is new and will be released very soon on the platform. So if you have any question, otherwise that's all. Okay then, thanks.